In this video, we are going to see the Git workflows. One of the Git workflow is fork workflow. Let's see and let's try to understand what is fork workflow and how it works. Fork is nothing but a process of creating a new code base in remote repo. You can see here a fork refers to a copy of a repository that is created under our GitHub account. It's a process of creating a new code base in a remote repo. Forking is commonly used in collaborative development workflows, especially when we want to contribute to a project hosted on GitHub. In the remote repository, you can see here in our remote repository, we will be having our original repository where developer 1, developer 2, developer 3 will take clone of it and then they do changes and push it to the repository, and whenever they want they will pull it. All this stuffs will be done here. But imagine for some reason developer feels not satisfied with the way how the project is going on. What they can do is they can take the copy of the project and work on it separately. You can see here is our remote repository, original remote repository. uh, we or a developer can fork it. So once it is forked, it will create a copy of it from the remote repository. You can see a remote forked repo. It's a copy of original repo. So here you can see developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. They are able to clone it and perform push and pull operations. But the connection between the fork repo and the remote original repo will be blocked. Means any changes happening in this forked repo is not going to be synced or affect to this original repo. We can say that update to this forked repo is not going to be synced with original base repo. You might be thinking when to fork. Whenever a developer or any team members are not satisfied with the way how it is going on, I mean the project, and ask the team to create some fork for the particular repository, and on the remote fork repository they will ask them to work on different fashion. So whenever we want to take separate approach without touching this current repository, or we can say the original repository, we can do forking. It's You already understood, it's nothing but taking a copy of project or some any changes from this original repository. That process is called forking, and doing some changes or cloning or doing some operations like push and pull on this remote forked repository will not going to affect the original repo anyways. So this is how the fork workflow is and how it works. So let's do it practically. Here what I'm doing is in my Git UI I'm creating a new repository to do this forking. So let me create a new repository. So I'm clicking on new. So here I'm giving my repository name as fr repo. Then create repo. Then in my local, I'm creating a new file called I'm creating a new file called git forking. So I'm opening my git bash here itself. I don't know, my laptop is bit slow. So let me open here git bash. Wait a minute. Uh, Before that, let me go to my repository here. Um, let's try to create another one repository which is needed for our fork. So I'm creating my, just refresh. Then I'm creating my new repo. I'm creating my new repo, that is tar- target fork repo. So this is my another repository I'm creating. I'm adding readme file here. So I'm creating it. Let me duplicate it so it will be easy for us. So now I want to fork it from fr repo to target forked repo. Now I'm cloning the source repo. For that, let me open git bash. So here what I'm doing is git clone. Then I'm giving, wait a minute, I'm giving fr repos URL. Let me open fr repo and let me copy the URL of it. So you can see the URL here. So I'm copying it. So I'm copying it. Then I'm pasting it here. Paste. Then I'm saving it something called target fork repo. So you can see it got cloned, but the name is different. I have given here. So it's still cloning. So I have cloned empty repository. So what I'm doing here is, let me go inside the targeted repo. So I'm giving cd target forked repo. So I got into it. So I'm giving ls hyphen ltr to check. You can see it has just copied the target fork repo. It has just copied the F4 repo. F4 repo is source repo. So now I am giving git remote -v. You can see FR repo now. Now I want to change it to the new repo. So what should I do is git remote set URL origin. Then I am giving the targeted repos URL. So let me copy it. Here is the targeted repos URL. So I am pasting it here. Wherever I push it has to go to this particular repo. So let's wait. So if we see the remote now, git remote -v, you can see here whatever I am going to push will go to the target forked repo, not into the source, which is FR repo. So now if I say touch F1, so I'm adding some file called touch F1 git add, then git commit I am giving git commit -m, then the message I am giving is F1 adding to target forked repo. So let me give space here so it will be easy to understand. So this is my commit message. Then I'm going to check my status, git status. It is not yet pushed, I guess. So what we can do is git push hyphen origin. I'm giving main. Before that tuple, let me give -r origin main. So now I'm giving ls ltr. So you can see F1 file and readme file in my target fork repo. So if I give git status, working directory is clean, working tree is clean, everything is clear. So I'm giving git push all. Now it got pushed, I guess. Let's wait. So it got pushed. So here let me refresh. I am having F1 file here in my target forked repo. So if I go here for my FR repo, you can see before my FR repo was empty, and then in my targeted repo also I did not, I mean, I just added F1 file, but it does not affect in FR repo. We did changes in target fork repo, but it does not affect the FR repo. This is how the forking will be done. So there is another way of doing forking. So we need to go here and import repository. We can see, you can see here, like, you can see here our old repositories clone URL. Here we need to paste the fr repos URL. So I am copying it and pasting it here. So after that, here we need to give our new repository name. Let me say as new target. Then after giving it begin import. So it will take a clone of it and getting us into so it will take clone of it and make us to work on a new repository. It just imported and we can get that new target repository also.